Next, I'm providing you with a brief overview of the units that are actually included in the public relations specialisation. So there are 2 core units for commerce students, and the first one is Discovering Public Relations. That's our first year entry-level unit. And in that unit, we talk all about what public relations is and what it isn't. So we're talking about public relations in contrast to, let's say, other communication disciplines like marketing, advertising. Where does it actually fit in? But what we also do, we talk about ethical implications and the role of public relations in society. So where do those communication skills you acquire actually fit in everyday life and beyond? And our students, as part of that unit, will have an opportunity to participate in a mock press conference as well. So providing you with those real life learning outcomes and skills. The second core unit in the public relations specialisation is Digital Public Relations and Storytelling. In this unit, you will be crafting messages and stories that can be told across different platforms. Online platforms, so we're talking about visual communication, we're talking about video stories, we're talking about written content, but we're also talking about offline stories and how they can all fit together to engage your audiences effectively. So again, it's a unit that draws on effective communication skills and allows you to communicate with people across different platforms and outlets. And in this unit, most importantly, students usually work with a real-life client, so you will have the opportunity to develop content for something that's real, that's tangible, and actually provides a real-life challenge at this particular point in time. So in addition to the 2 core units, we are offering 4 electives. So most students enrolled in a PR specialisation will select 2 of those in order to build your full PR specialisation, and there's plenty of choice. First of all, we've got our Reputation Management unit, which is brand new for Semester 1 2023, and that's building on knowledge that we usually only made available to students at a postgraduate level. But to be honest, public relations at its core is really all about reputation management, hence public relations, relationship building, reputation management, and building that goodwill amongst audiences that are either going to be affected by your organisation or that you might actually be going to be affected by. So we're going to talk about in this unit how to detect issues early. We're going to talk about how to limit the impact of potential issues. And if things go wrong, how to actually deal with a crisis. So students in this unit will be participating in a live crisis simulation, which usually is lots of fun. It's challenging, it puts you on the spot, but it's one of those highlights of the public relations experience. Another option within the public relations suite of units is PR and industry. And what this unit does, it actually allows you to explore different areas of specialisms in public relations. And these might vary across semesters, depending on guest speakers we might have and visiting professors. But for example, some of the key areas are health communication, which is a huge area of employment now, internal communication, how to speak to investors, sport communication, travel, tourism communication, and so on. So there are a lot of topics that will be explored, usually on a weekly or over 2 weeks at a time. And it gives you an idea of how diverse the public relations industry and those job opportunities actually are within that context. Next, there's campaign planning and evaluation. And although this is a public relations unit, it provides students with a lot of skills within a communication context that are relevant to anyone in marketing, advertising, and anyone who wants to actually hone their campaign management and design, but also their applied research skills. So this is a unit that's dedicated to a real-life client. Every semester we bring in another client who students are working with. They brief the students on a communication challenge, and at the end of the day, the end of the semester, students present back to that particular client and then get relevant feedback. Sometimes there's the opportunity to actually implement some of those recommendations as well as part of a placement after that unit, which is not part of those particular learning outcomes, but an additional opportunity. So in addition of working on a campaign or a strategic communication solution to a client's communication problem, students learn applied communication research skills throughout this unit. And that doesn't mean that we put you away and get you to analyse data. What we actually do in this unit is we send you out and do some observations on campus or in a different location. We get you to design a survey and actually see how your peers respond to it. We get you to run focus groups and to run interviews. So it's all very applied skills that will help you later on to gain an insight into different perspectives and what shapes strategy, but it will also then later on in the unit enable you to gain an insight how you can actually evaluate and measure the impact of your strategic recommendations. Quite often as communicators, and that's not just in public relations, we're very good at putting messages out there, but we don't take the time to actually measure how effective they were. In this unit, we make sure you've got the skills to actually provide cutting-edge insights into evaluation measurement once you actually enter the job market. The fourth unit, as part of our suite of public relations options or electives, is cross-cultural communication. And in this unit, we get you to take a step back and explore your own values and beliefs, and to possibly question them and explore them further within the context of cross-cultural communication. When we talk about cross-cultural communication, we don't just talk about it in the sense of different countries or nation states. We actually look at cross-cultural communication within Australia or within Malaysia and other countries. Because if we're honest, we're not all the same, even though we live in one country. Even if we would all speak the same language, there are those important nuances that communicators need to be aware of. In first semester, students get the opportunity to be part of something that's called GlobeCom. GlobeCom is a collaboration amongst 15 different universities in 15 countries, and students usually work on an international communication challenge. So every year we have a client, and they're quite diverse. We've worked with the likes of the WWF, we've worked with Zeiss Vision, we've worked with Stellenbosch University and creating a tourism campaign. We've worked with Airbus, and we've worked with the FC Barcelona. So as you can see, it's a whole different range of different organisations, departments, communication challenge. But what they all have in common is that every year students work in truly international teams with representatives from 15 or up to 15 different countries. So we don't just talk about cross-cultural communication. You actually get to experience cross-cultural communication, including the challenges, but also the opportunities. And that includes the opportunity to build international networks going forward that will see you through beyond graduation.